So, good evening, everybody. This is Ramani Venkat, and this is the webinar on Elling is not selling. We'll wait for a few seconds so that people in YouTube can just join in, and then we will start with the actual session. So, just wait. Let's wait for a couple of seconds before we start. People in Zoom can ask me live questions. So, let me just come to the screen sharing part of it. Please, people who are in Zoom, please kindly mute yourself so that this thing it doesn't disturb the others. Okay, fine. So, good evening, everybody. Sorry, good morning, everybody. Elling is not selling is the name of the topic. Before we start, there are a few people on Zoom and people on YouTube are logging in. My one question which I would like to ask everybody is, what are the challenges that anybody has faced in selling, and what is their opinion about selling? Anybody in Zoom can start. आपको sales के बारे में क्या लगता है? From the perspective of the customer also, do you like sales people? Do you not like sales people? Or if you are into sales as a profession, what are the challenges that you are facing? I can take 2-3 people's views. Anybody? You can tell me the customer's perspective. You can tell me the sales person's perspective as well. Anybody wants to go ahead and share? And so that those challenges can get addressed. But before that, let us talk about opinions. Sales बंदों के बारे में आपका opinion क्या है? Be honest. Anybody? Rupa ji, what's your opinion about sales people?
I don't like them.
Lovely. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. You don't like them. Can you know why you don't like them?
I think most salespeople, they just try to keep pushing the product. They don't even think about what the customer wants, or if the customer is interested. They just blindly sell, which is very annoying.
Okay, fantastic. Well, thanks for the honest feedback. In fact, that's the opinion most people share. Including me, probably a long time back, I also would have shared the same opinion. Anybody in YouTube can also type your opinions. Do you like salespeople? Yes or no? That would be a simpler answer. And most of the times, the reason is very in similar lines to what Rupa ji said, that they tend to push the product. They tend to, literally speaking, if I can use a slang, shove it down people's neck. Le lo karke. This kind of happens. And sometimes we also feel cheated, or what we call as a buyer's remorse. Buyer's remorse is after buying a product somewhere, we feel, did I do a right decision? So that period of buyer's remorse is far too longer. Anybody else, any point that has get left out from a customer's perspective? Do you like salespeople? Yes or no? There is Harshita ji. Can you just share your opinion? Just unmute and speak, or you can type on chat. I'm fine with it. Anybody? Okay, YouTube. Yes, of course. Yasho Kumar, you like salespeople or you don't like salespeople? Salespeople force themselves on customers. Okay, Imran Khan, thank you so much. Okay, fine. That was from the YouTube version. So let us understand. Let us take a step back. Before we understand the step back, I would also want to understand if there are any sales professionals. I know a few people are from the network marketing industry. There are in this audience. I also know that there are a few people who are sales professionals because they are registered. So what are the predominant challenges that you are facing? So I can make sure that in this 1.5 hours, I can actually cover that also. YouTube people can type on the chat the challenges that they face, and anybody on the Zoom meeting, any challenges that you are facing, a tough customer situation that you are facing, how do I handle this kind of situations? You can unmute yourself and ask. People in Zoom can ask me live.
So the challenges when it comes to network marketing is like, it becomes very difficult to convince them to get into the business.
Okay, a small point of correction. This is not only with respect to network marketing. I think any sales person का सबसे बड़ा challenge होता है customer को कैसा convince करे. How do I convince the customers? Okay, let us not restrict our today's discussion to network marketing. Is that fine, Nitaji? But I think overview, I'll give you some specific examples also, even from affiliate marketing or network marketing or real-time sales, online sales, telecalling. Real-time situations, which all challenges we face. I'll definitely throw a lot of light on the how to convince the customers part as well. Okay, so that is something which will be taken care of. Let me just go in and trust and believe. I appreciate them. Okay, Shalini ma'am is saying I appreciate them. Okay, fine. Shalini, if you want to log in, you can log in through Zoom's ID. It's yesterday's ID only. Okay, so you can log in from Zoom as well. Yeah, Nitaji, you want to say something else? Any other challenges faced?
The main challenge is that people don't want to come into sales. They feel that it is a very I mean, degraded job or
Lovely,
something. But
lovely, lovely, lovely. This is one more thing. People, especially parents, okay, why people? A lot of times parents don't want their child to be into sales. Okay, this is something which is also foreseen. If I had told my father I want to be in sales, it was like sales. I mean, that is a question which comes like it's like a taboo. It's like a taboo profession. Now I want to clear certain cobwebs or certain myths that people might be having. So let me just come straight to my slide share because that is something like an indicator. So I know that I don't miss out on certain points. Okay. So talking of these 3 points, first and foremost, let me tell you certain facts which I have experienced and I can prove it to you right away itself. First and foremost, anybody can sell as long as we follow the simple processes. Okay. If you follow the simple steps, okay, it's like a skill. You follow this step, tick mark, tick mark, tick mark, tick mark, tick mark. I can bet on it. Anybody who follows the process can become excellent salespeople. Okay, so there is no doubt about it, which I will just share in a few seconds. Talking about that, and it's also a certain belief level that needs to be associated with salespeople. Both of them will be talking about in detail throughout this program. So the first question before I start, I want to ask a small question to the panelists in YouTube and the panelists in the Zoom meeting. Do you think you are salespeople deep within? Or let me rephrase the question. Have you sold anything in the last, say, 1 week? Anybody in this audience who has not sold anything in the last 1 week, just type yes on the chat box, or you can just say yes. Okay. YouTube people can type yes on the chat box. If you have not sold, anything in the last 1 week, type yes. Alphabet yes or Y, anything is fine. Okay. Harshita ji has not sold anything. Let me check out in the YouTube if I get some answers. By the time, so if you have not sold, please type an S. If you have sold, fantastic. Don't type anything. If you have not sold, type an S. Rupa ji, you have sold something in the last 1 week?
I am not into sales. I'm into sales enablement. So I
I'm
haven't
not
sold.
into sales. Okay, so okay, tried informally. Okay, Dinimal Kaulji tried informally. Fantastic. Okay, the biggest thought process is sales is not something with respect to a transaction happening. If four people together decide and they decide to watch a particular movie, and if they and everybody agrees to the movie that you are suggesting, kahin na kahin to, have I not sold my idea to them? Have I not sold my belief system or my conviction to those people? So day in, day out. See, it's not a transactional sale that I'm talking of. Okay, I just worded it differently, but we are not talking about a transactional sale happening. कहीं ना कहीं तो मॉर्निंग से नाइट तक हम लोग अपना आइडिया बेचते हैं, अपना थॉट प्रोसेस बेचते हैं, अपना ड्रेसिंग सेंस से लोगों का अटेंशन सीक करते हैं. That is also probably selling our dressing sense, selling our personality. We are doing that from morning till night. So sales is actually inherent part of it. In fact, there is a nice quote in English which says, a crying baby only will get milk. Okay, so जब तक बच्चा भी जानता है कि किस तरीके से they can actually get milk. A small 5-year-old kid knows कौन सा uncle से कैसा chocolate लेना है. This uncle likes mark sheet, so it's the same mark sheet with a star which he's got. He or she has got, comes and give it to the uncle. Uncle gives the chocolate. One uncle को hug के साथ, come a nice hug and the uncle gives the chocolate. One uncle के साथ tantrum से chocolate मिलता है. Those kind of things even kids know. So somewhere inherently all of us know how to sell. I'm not debating on that. I'm sure you would agree with that fact. So let us come to sales is integral to part of it. It's only that the transactional sales which we are going to limit. Before we start, there is one cobweb about salespeople जिसको निकालना बहुत जरूरी है. A lot of times salespeople are bad people. So let us understand how sales evolved in India. This is something which I have seen it evolve in my career, so I'm just sharing that. So first and foremost, when I started my sales career in around 1993, it was the concept in the corporate world was कुछ भी बेचो. Customer asks you a particular feature, ये feature आपका product में है या नहीं है. We were actually trained to say, I'm talking about 1993. Okay, we were trained to say yes, take the order, बाद में देखा जाएगा. That was the kind of thought process that was there in the market or the corporate world or the sales world, because it was somewhat similar to license launch. The Indian economy had just started to be liberated, so it was more like a seller's market. So kuch bhi becho was the motto, was the training that was given to us on product details, and then they say go and commit and get the order. Slowly 94 95 ke kareeb, the industry started changing. We were the same company which had trained kuch bhi becho, now realigned themselves and said don't do a wrong sale. When I say don't do a wrong sale, we were actually trained to understand, does the customer need a high-end product or a low-end product? If the customer does not have a budget for the high-end product, we were told don't sell to the customer a low-end product just because he has got a budget for that. We were actually trained to say no to get an order. Okay, it was big cultural difference, because in the initial part of my career it was like kuch bhi becho, and 1 year down the line we were told don't do a wrong sale because the customer will not give you long-term orders. So it is okay to walk out of a deal by telling the customer, educating the customer, sir, this product is not a fit for you. Don't buy this product just because you have the budget. Aapka product, ye wala product chahiye, abhi paisa nahi hai, no problem. Because when he does a wrong sale with the competitor and he realizes that we were the ones who gave the right advice, he would always come back to us. So we were told to fit the right solution for the right product. I just gave an analogy. Towards 98, a next concept started happening. Service was supposed to be free of cost. Okay, I mean, I'm talking about a time when guarantee was also in existence. Today it's all about warranty, and installation was supposed to be free of cost. Okay, it was a done deal. In 94, 95, if you ask your dads in time, 94, 95, my installation or service charges were supposed to be free, complimentary along with the product sale. There was no concept of service being charged. First time, another shocker, 2.5 years in the same company, and suddenly we were, circular comes. Circular, okay, we didn't have emails at that point in time. Circular comes, henceforth all installation will be charged. Today we have accepted it, it's become the norm. If you buy a TV, the installation 1,000 rupees extra. You buy a dish antenna, there is a 500 rupees installation charge which gets added to the bill. So service was kind of today is accepted, but that time when people never paid for service, why would they pay for after sales service? We as sales people found a lot of pressure, in convincing the customer, but we didn't have a choice, we accepted it. But slowly the seeds for service also is to be paid was a concept. Then slowly the concept got evolved with the advent of BPOs and BPOs kind of a thing. Sales became a service which could be outsourced to people. I am not good in sales, I am good in a product development or a service industry. Can I outsource my sales? Can I outsource my credit card division to selling people to people who can do the selling part? So sales as a service, people who are competent in sales started getting into sales as a service kind of a concept. So that thing started happening. Then towards 2005, it was predominantly geographical orientation. The sales team, if you look at any organization, was general manager India, then you used to have, or vice president India, whatever, then you used to have the state heads, the zonal heads, then you had to have the zonal managers, then you had to have the state-wise managers or the state managers, then regional managers, then district managers, then the the executives on the various level at the bottom level. This was how the sales organization was there. Towards 2005, service organizations shifted from geography based to verticalization. What they said is, if my company, say, I'll give you a simple example. One of the companies I'm actually giving consultancy is a glass manufacturing company, which I won't tell them, take the name, I've got an NDA clause, which has got its product predominantly in 3 areas. Builders houses के लिए जो glasses है, the homes के लिए जो भी glasses है, the predominant customers were developers. And then you had another customer which were car manufacturing companies, and the third one was the end users through the contract or the resale market through the distributing channel. So 3 things. So earlier they used to have a geography based hierarchy. It was basically geography based. We shifted from geography based to verticalization. We said the person who is taking care of the glass sales for the car manufacturing companies should be independent. So we used to have a person who will go from all the way from Chandigarh to Chennai if need be to take care of the sales for the car manufacturing company in Chennai. This brought about a specialization in sales. This guy knows inside out about the car manufacturing companies and their needs, their problems, their challenges. So he actually shifted from the customer's perspective rather than a salesperson to a consultant approach, because he understood the problems that was faced by his customers, and this was able to be taken care of. So verticalization started happening. Then comes the advent of digital marketing, which we all know, Amazon's. And in digital marketing, the next step is behavioral marketing. When you buy stuff in Amazon, you actually get a pop-up, right? You might want to buy this dress also. This is based on your past behavior analysis. Amazon, Flipkart, they actually do a background algorithm which actually does a check, like how much time you spend on which kind of dress, which color dress, which was the time spent on. So based on that, your past history of buying which kind of dress, which day of the month, all this is analyzed, and it pops up kind of based on the algorithm, this that you might want to buy this, an induced purchase. So we have gone beyond sales to even we have gone to what we call as behavioral marketing. But all this is from an evolution of sales perspective. So, and today we have come to another concept called as sales damru. Normally, sales people were associated with something called as sales funnel. Means prospects dalo, lead banega to lead say you have prospects, from prospects you have qualified prospects, people who are very close to buying, then negotiation, and then you buy, you get customers. Today the same customers have become a reverse damru. From the same customers we farm the customers into doing cross selling, upselling, and selling more to the same customer. So today sales funnel mein bolte hain, we call it sales damru, like Shiva ka damru. It comes and then reverse funnel happens. So that is something which is small thing about evolution of sales. So this is how sales has evolved. Today gone is the day where a salesman can come cheat you or dump you with a product. Today's customers have become far more educated. Customers know about what they want. Customers know about a lot of stuff, and with review sites like mouthshut.com, a wrong sale can never be entertained. So that's something which is gone. Let me now come with a small example to remove the cobweb that selling is bad or good. Okay, I want one volunteer, preferably who can come on camera. I would prefer somebody from the non-sales background. Rupaji, can you come on say camera? Is it okay? Is it possible?
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
sorry, I didn't give you a warning. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, Rupaji, for the next two minutes, think that you are a doctor. Think that you are a doctor. Okay, I am a patient who has come on a Skype call or a Zoom call or a YouTube call. Okay, and I want you to take it up from there. You are the doctor. We'll do a role play. Start. I think you need to unmute yourself.
Sorry. So what is the objective of this conversation?
I have come for I have a certain problem. You have to diagnose me and help me with a solution. I'm a patient who has come online to seek a doctor's advice. That's the brief. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Start.
Okay. Hi. How are you doing?
I'm not that fine, doctor.
So what exactly is the issue? What are you facing any symptoms? You can probably talk to me about it.
Okay, fine. Would the doctor ask, are you any symptoms, or would the doctor say, what's the challenge? Okay, let's be honest. That's okay.
I'm
Since
not
you're
a
doing this as a
doctor.
role play, I respect it.
I'm trying.
No problem. It was ad hoc, not planned. That's
Yeah.
okay. So probably the question you will ask me is, what is wrong with you? What has happened
Yeah.
to you?
What's wrong with you? Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask.
Fair
Yeah.
enough,
What are your
So what's your
symptoms?
problem?
Yeah.
So the patient would say, doctor, my stomach is paining, kind of a thing. So what would the doctor do? If it's not a virtual meeting, it's a real-time meeting, what would the doctor do?
They would check, right?
Exactly. The doctor would apply pressure on the near the stomach and ask, idhar dukta hai kya, idhar dukta hai kya. Before that pressure part, he or she would ask some questions like, what did you eat yesterday? Is this happening for last one day? Is this happening for last 1 week? Is this happening? Is this hereditary? Does your parents have got this? Something like this. All this, basically, we are not doctors, but we understand the process perspective as a patient. And then probably he would apply pressure here, he would apply pressure here and find out the exact point where the pain is happening. Correct?
Yeah.
Now, what is this process called? You actually gave out the answer. What is this process called?
Diagnosis.
Perfect. So this is called diagnosis. Now understand two things. After doing the diagnosis, does the patient tell the problem, or what does the patient say? Either dukha hai, what is this? What is this? Whatever I'm saying as a patient, what is that? What is that word called? You actually gave out the word sometime back.
Symptoms.
Perfect. So the patient does not tell the problem. Patient only gives out symptoms. Correct? From the symptoms and the knowledge of the doctor comes to a conclusion using diagnosis that this is probably wrong with this person and gives you the medication. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. When the doctor gives you a medication, and suppose doctor says Dolo 650, has anybody in the panel, with due respect to all doctors, anybody in the panel ever asked a doctor, Dolo 650 hi lena hai kya? Can I take Crocin 650? I'm just giving you a very hypothetical example. When the doctor gives a prescription, do we say, can I buy instead of Cipla, can I buy from Ranbaxy the same metal? Has any patient ever asked a question to this doctor?
Okay, I have something.
You have? Okay, fantastic.
No.
Good.
No.
I meant because you have the stock in your house.
No. I just want.
Not from a stock perspective. Okay.
Not
fantastic.
from a stock. See, you said stomach pain, right?
Okay.
So if the doctor gives me Dolo 60, I'll ask like that's a paracetamol, and
fair enough.
So that question will come up, but maybe I will not tell the doctor.
Dolo 650 is easy to understand. But if the the medicine was something which we did not understand it is paracetamol or something else, or a decent higher level, which is not a over-the-counter medicine. Like Rosin is a over-the-counter medicine, OTC bolte. I'm talking about a medicine which is like something, and you can say, can I buy? Do I need to buy a Ciplas medicine? Can I buy a Ranbaxy medicine? This we have never asked a doctor. Like, we do respect, right?
Yes.
Now the question why we didn't ask the doctor is not because we did not have knowledge, but predominantly the reason is we considered the doctor an expert, and he was a consultant who was there to help us out. Agreeing with this point?
Yeah, correct.
Now this is what we need to understand if we want to become good salespeople. We need to become doctors or consultants for our customers rather than salesmen for the customers. If we are able to do that, then predominantly we will be able to become fantastic salespeople. So for this, we need to do exactly what the doctor did. We need to do exactly what the doctor, the same steps. Step number 1, find out, do the diagnosis. To do the diagnosis, ask questions. When you ask questions, the patient, or in this case the customer, starts telling that this is my problem, this is my problem, this is my problem. Customer thinks this is the problem, but an expert person like a doctor will understand these are not the actual problems, these are only symptoms. The actual problem is somewhere deep within. In the case of a customer, it could be emotional as well. So what this we do as a salesperson, ask questions, do a thorough sales diagnosis, find out what is the actual symptoms. Once you know the symptoms, then you come to the next step of giving the diagnosing the actual problem, which is a root cause of that person's symptoms. And this is true for any industry, network marketing industry, customer industry, anything. Sales matlab first become a doctor for the customer. Find out the pain points, find out what is wrong with that customer, find out the symptoms. Once you know the symptoms, then go to the next level of diagnosing the solution. And when you give a solution, just like no patient ever asks a doctor, ye lega to chalega kya, that question would never come. And that's what salespeople need to do. And that is what we are going to do in the next 40-45 minutes time on how to become the sales doctor for our customers, so that we don't get any questions like lena jaruri hai kya, kal le sakta hu kya, all those things would not come. Okay. Meanwhile, anybody has got any questions, and I am saying there's a ground rule in my sessions. You can type your questions on YouTube or unmute and ask me questions. Feel free to do that. Let's not wait for the end time question making. I'm oscillating between YouTube also to check if there are any questions coming there. Okay. So anybody has got any questions, or shall I continue further? Okay, let me just check up YouTube. Sold my work.
No
okay,
questions on YouTube yet.
Okay, no questions on YouTube yet. Okay, so let's continue further. So going next step further. Sorry, all of you can see the screen. Like, this is the front-ending description of sales. I won't spend much time on it. Face-to-face prospect meeting with an intention of buying is called as a thing. I leave that gyan to people to read. Yeah, that's okay. Let's go further. Does sales involve selling? Okay, let me rephrase this question. Do people buy because of sales people, or do people buy because of something else? Or if I were to ask another question, I'll pick Neetaji only as a volunteer. Neetaji, do you have a cell phone with you?
Yes.
I hope it was not gifted. It was not gifted to you.
No,
right?
no one gifted me.
Okay, fine. How did the cell phone come to you?
Because I wanted to buy.
Now, it wanted to know. How did it come to you? Past tense. It's already come to you.
So I went to the shop
And
I checked few handsets.
Okay, process show. How did it come to you? One line answer.
I bought it.
You bought it. Okay, I'll take this point. Next point. Do you have a earphone or anything or any accessory? How did it come to you?
It came along with the phone.
Okay, but you bought it.
Yes.
The dress that you have in your wardrobe, how did it come to you? If it was not gifted, the non-gifted dresses in your wardrobe, how did it come to you?
I purchased them.
Exactly. So understand the most basic element of humans, purchase or sales cycle. Every single thing that we have which was not gifted to us, the proud individual, the proud owner of that particular object will always say, I bought it, I purchased it. So predominantly there was not a single product in this world which was actually sold to you. Think about it. There's all the products in planet Earth which we have purchased or bought was not sold to us. We purchased it. We want to be the decision makers. And that is true. Every customer wants to be the decision maker. Every customer is the decision maker. So क्या होता है, अगर आप दूसरा तरीके से देखेंगे तो The process of a sales consultant or a sales personnel is not about selling. It's about inducing purchase. Look at it. Decision maker आप नहीं हो. Sales people decision maker नहीं है. Sales people are not decision makers. The decision makers are the customers. So what can a salesperson do? Can only induce purchase. So to induce purchase, आपको customer का mindset, customer का बारे में, you have to get into the customer shoes, or what we say, you have to become empathetic to the customer's mindset. So you have to become empathetic with the customer. Am I still audible? Because the power supply has gone, so I might look a bit dark. This is my actual color. Okay. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Because the power supply has got, my table lamp has got switched off. Okay. So I'm on my network. Okay. So let us understand two things from a purchase perspective. Purchase का इतना steps होता है. First is the customer needs to become aware of the product. Once that person is aware of the product, he or she has to consider the different options. Then the shopping के लिए जाएंगे. Shopping के बाद में intentions आता है. Some cases में intention के बाद shopping के लिए आता है. If it is a big ticket item, then probably first shopping, then intention, or intention shopping, depending upon the big ticket or low ticket item happens. Then the actual process of buying, and after buying, the person has to like the product and love the product. So this is predominantly the purchase process from a customer's perspective, from the other perspective. So if I were to go further, let us now understand what is it that the customer cares about. Salman Khan ka bhasha mein only one thing: I, me, myself. The customer is not bothered about your targets. मेरा target achieve नहीं हुआ. And I've seen some people sell to people like this: मेरा target achieve नहीं हुआ sir. आप आज ले लोगे तो मेरे को ऑफिस में गाली नहीं मिलेगा. This is not selling. I would use a different word, but I don't want to use it. This is pleading. I mean, and if I'm being very decent, this is pleading. This is not sales. This is majburi. This is not sales. So the customer is bothered about I, me, myself. It means he, himself, or herself, or whatever. Okay, that's it. Now there are three steps. बहुत बार अगर परचेस साइकिल को इफ आई वाज टू अंडरस्टैंड फ्रॉम दिस, बहुत बार देयर इज अ डिजायर, मैं चाहता हूं, आई फील लाइक आई शुड गेट दिस. दैट डिजायर इज नॉट गोइंग टू क्रिएट अ डिसीजन मेकिंग कैपेसिटी इन द कस्टमर. सो वो डिजायर्स हैव टू बी कन्वर्टेड टू नीड्स. जरूरत है, ओके, जरूरत आल्सो समटाइम्स डज नॉट गेट कन्वर्टेड टू अ सेल और अ परचेस. The needs have to be converted to a stronger need, or which we call as wants. ये नहीं रहेगा तो मेरा काम नहीं चलेगा. Then a customer goes and buys. So as a sales people, we don't have, the marketing people take care of converting desires to needs. Marketing people, any company का marketing strategy ये होता है, वो आदमी के अंदर डिजायर डालता है, यू नो आपको ये चाहिए, अच्छा रहेगा, इससे स्टेटस सिंबल बढ़ता है, ये गाड़ी लेके आएगा तो लोग सलाम ठोकेंगे. ऑल दैट नीड्स को, वो डिजायर्स को जागृत करते हैं. From the desire it becomes a need. Now the need to want part, a salesperson does. The salesperson, when you go to a showroom for buying a car, the needs to want part is taken care of by the sales. वो बोलता है कि ये आज नहीं लेगा ना तो आपको शायद प्रॉब्लम है, या ये वीक में नहीं लेगा तो आपको प्रॉब्लम है. So that needs gets converted to wants. That salesperson is a very strong catalyst. Okay, so that is what we need to understand. What do they buy? Nobody in this world buys a product or a service. People can argue with me. I don't have time from a session perspective. If you still don't agree with me after I make this point, we can have a discussion. People don't buy a product. People don't buy a service. All that people buy is a solution. Now, solution ढूंढते हैं people. That's why the doctor example fits in perfectly. If the doctor could give you 4 options, but if the doctor gives you 4 options, you become confused. Okay, when the doctor gives you one option, this is the solution to your problem, then the sale happens. So same thing here. People buy solutions. They have a problem. Sometimes they have a problem they have not recognized. So as sales personnel, we need to खरोचना है हमको, खरोच के वो problem को जागरूक करना है. You know that you have this problem, why, and you have to take a solution. Then that salesperson is not only the sale doesn't happen, but the salesperson is also respected. You know, that's a value status, the equivalent to a doctor or a consultant. The sales personnel gets that kind of value addition. So that is required. So if I understand the sales process, this is predominantly the 4 step. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. इसको अगर आप अच्छी तरह से समझोगे, you can sell to a lot of people. Your hit rate will increase. So the first step is 4 steps. Step number 1, homework बहुत जरूरी है. If you don't do homework, it will be very tough for people to get into sales. When I say homework, you need to know inside out about your product, or a service, whatever you are giving. You are inside about your company. You also need to do homework on what competition is offering. Suppose you go to Sangeeta and you are buying a cell phone, Sangeeta showrooms or big top share showrooms, like, which is as one more thing, Purvanika or something. Yeah. So when you go to these kind of shops, there is a person, even though you are asking about a Samsung phone, he will give you a comparison between Vivo, Oppo, MI, he names it, he will tell you this is the range of all the products. इसमें ये खासियत है, इसमें ये नहीं है, इसमें ये खासियत है, इसमें ये नहीं है, इसमें ये खासियत है, इसमें ये नहीं है. The pluses and minuses of all the products would be shown to him, at least known to that person. So understand this, you need to know about competition. And the last homework, which you don't do in an impulsive purchase, I'm bringing a small category differentiation. Impulsive purchase का मतलब है जो लोग कस्टमर दुकान में आके खरीदते हैं, okay? But the other kind of sales is where sales cycle थोड़ा लंबा होता है. Like कार खरीदने का रहता है ना, तो you normally don't buy car in 1 day's time. You take at least 2 to 3 weeks time to decide. फ्रिज खरीदना है तो आप 10-15 दुकान में जाके घूम के आओगे, at least 5 days, 10 days. And normally these are not impulsive purchase. You do a bit of research. Or in if I talk B2B sales, B2B sales मतलब one company selling products to another company, like bada storage solutions, computers का lump sum. Suppose Dell is selling to a college laptops, 40 laptop, 50 laptop. These are all called B2B sales. यहाँ पर कस्टमर ऐसा नहीं कि आप आया बात किया ओके चेक मार के दे दिया. It takes the sales cycle time takes around 1 week to sometimes 2 months, 3 months also. बड़ा orders रहेगा तो. Even network marketing के my friends who are there here, even for them also यहाँ पर भी it is somewhere you have to you get more time to analyze the customer. So ये homework about the prospect, not customers, actually the right word is prospects. Prospects के ऊपर आपको homework करना बहुत जरूरी है. So what kind of homework I will share later. So this is step 1. Step 2 is the actual pitching part. Sales का pitch, आपका presentation, आपका जो बेचने का तरीका, the way you sell. So first is presentation. How do you present the product or the service to the customer? Okay. The second, उसके बाद में, sorry, that's a spelling mistake there. It's objection. So the customer will raise some objections. नहीं आपका इसमें ये नहीं है ना, इसमें ये नहीं है ना, इससे क्या होगा, ये प्रॉब्लम आ गया तो, objections. How do you deal with objections? And then the follow through. वो बंदा फर्स्ट विजिट के बाद में आपका सेल होने तक आप या सेल होगा या sometimes that guy will say no to you. So till that time you need to follow through. I'm using the word follow through. I am not using the word follow up. That's a small difference. उसके बाद closing. Closing में negotiations होगा. That guy will ask you for a price discount and you discount, you fight on the price, and then the last stage is follow up. I will talk about all these phases in detail. Okay. Anyway, again I'm asking a question. Anybody has a question, don't hesitate to ask me questions. You can interrupt me. YouTube people can put it on chat. Let me just check out. Okay, fine, no questions yet in YouTube. Okay, so let me come to the sales process chat. Okay, so next, so let us understand each of this. So the first thing is knowing a customer. अगर this I'll spend little time. This is a slide predominantly from B2B. अगर मैं एक बड़ा कंपनी को बेचता हूँ a product, like suppose I'm a Dell laptop salesperson and I have a customer is ICICI Bank. ICICI Bank wants around 1,000 systems for 3-4 branches. Now understand, I have to understand ICICI Bank का department, IT department का goal क्या है. Suppose IT department goal है कि get into locker services across India and increase their locker services का एक goal है उनका department का. ये goal भी मुझे मालूम रहना चाहिए. I have to do that kind of homework, because then when I go and talk, I can talk about customizing my this from a locker perspective. An automatic locker perspective. I can actually customize my products to them. Thus, the IT head is impressed, because for him, uska problem is not buying computers. Uska problem is a solution to that. So, know your customers. Second mistake that B2B sales people who are into B2B sales, some of the students who are watching this, you might get into a B2B role. बहुत बार, they start talking the same thing to everybody. IT purchase, first they will go and meet the IT manager, then IT head, then the purchase guy. So understand, you need to understand the homework to be done as to who is the decision maker in the company. If you don't understand who is the decision maker, you will probably lose out when you go to negotiation. Pura pitch, pura price discounts of de diya to the guy who is just a reporting guy to the decision maker. Aapka mehnat, either, everything goes for a toss. That is one mistake which I have seen people do. There is one more mistake people do, which is, they forget the discount part. They don't even know that there is a decision maker or somebody else, and that guy has already finalized the order, and we are doing all the groundwork without knowing who the decision maker is. That's second mistake which I've seen with people happening. So first and foremost, understand what their need is, who is the decision maker. Sometimes there's a word called as influencer. There might be an influencer जो company के बाहर बैठा है. That guy will be the actual decision maker. So you have to do your homework to find out that that person is the influencer, and you have to probably do efforts to map that person also in your sales pitch. Now comes to the most important thing. बहुत बार, and I'm very sure I will do a poll also. People in YouTube answer. How many people feel that they have lost an order because of price? Say yes. Even in Zoom, people can type YES or type Y. If you have lost an order because you feel it was because of price, please give Y. Anybody, if you feel you have lost an order, as a sales personnel, you have lost an order because of price being the issue, competitor का price कम था, इसीलिए customer went to competitor, please type Y or yes. Okay, let me check out from Zoom perspective first. How many people have said Y? Nobody. Seriously? Let me check out in YouTube. Give me 1 second. Okay, no. Even in YouTube, yes. Even in YouTube, nobody has said yes, sir. Strange, yeah. Okay, I've got one. Ashok Kumar says conversation. Okay, why? Okay, fine. Understand, this is a normal thing when we do sales review meetings in organizations. मैं जब जाके पूछता हूँ order क्यों नहीं मिला, the standard answer is competition का price ज़्यादा था, sorry कम था, so the person went and purchased from her. Let me tell one thing, price is probably the last step for you to win an order. It's not the first step, it's not the second step, it's probably not the 10th step. It's the last step, and that too, according to me, price is never the criteria why people lose orders. Let me give an example. If price was the only criteria, India में सिर्फ nano गाड़ी चलता रहेगा. Why will people buy a BMW? Why will they buy a car which is high priced? At the end of the day, it's about value. डाला हुआ पैसा के लिए मेरे को क्या value मिलता है? Let me give an easiest possible example. How much do you think you will pay for this pen? It's a normal use and throw pen. Can you give me some number? The normal answer would be 5 rupees, 10 rupees, 2 rupees. Now tell me, would you pay 1,000 rupees for this pen? Anybody? I'm very sure the answer is no. But let me give you a hypothetical situation. Suppose if I give you a hypothetical situation, which is, understand the situation. आपको कोर्ट के बाहर एक डॉक्यूमेंट साइन करना है, वो डॉक्यूमेंट साइन करोगे तो आपको 1 लाख रुपया मिलने वाला है. Okay, and nobody else has got the a pen to sign. 1 minute बाकी है और I am the only guy with a pen. Now tell me, because you are desperate for the pen, for the same pen, would you pay me 1,000 rupees?
Yes.
100%, क्योंकि आपको इस पेन का वैल्यू समझ में आ गया ना, एक चुटकी पर सिंदूर का वैल्यू क्या है, एक पेन का क्या वैल्यू आपको समझ में आ गया. So understand this, you would pay 1,000 rupees for this pen. Same question, would you pay 1 lakh rupees for this pen? Okay, 1 lakh rupees of the pen, हजम नहीं होता है यार. But if the same pen was a pen used by one of your favorite actors like Shah Rukh Khan in a particular movie, or Salman Khan in a particular movie, or any actress for a particular movie, now tell me, if this pen is getting auctioned, don't you think you would pay 1 lakh, 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs? So understand, the same pen can be sold for different values. Why? It is not a price. It is the value that you are getting for a product or a service. This is why people pay. उनको लगता है, बहुत बार बड़ा बड़ा गाड़ी लोग क्यों लेते हैं? वैल्यू के लिए लेते हैं. वो वैल्यू क्या है पता है क्या? We don't even realize. Some people buy big cars because of the status symbol that it is associated with the car. इस गाड़ी के साथ एक स्टेटस सिंबल के साथ रहता है. मैं बड़ा बड़ा पार्टी में जाता हूँ, लोग, माय बिजनेस इज डीलिंग विद पॉलिटिशियन, उनके सामने मैं छोटा गाड़ी में गया तो मेरे को वैल्यू नहीं मिलता है. सो लुक एट दिस पर्पस ऑफ बाइंग अ कार. इट इज नॉट अबाउट टेकिंग हिज फैमिली. देयर आर सम पीपल हु से आई वांट टू बाय अ कार which is probably SUVs. Why SUVs? Because मेरा फैमिली बड़ा है, सबको पार्टी में ले पिकनिक में जाना है, तो गाड़ी बड़ा चाहिए. 2 गाड़ी लेके जाना से अच्छा एक गाड़ी में जा सकते हैं. So understand, there are some people who have customized their car. They buy a normal car and they Honda City or some car, and they customize it with Dilip Chaparia and all, and they make it look like a sports car. Why? Because it's more about the value that they are getting. The value could be tangential, it could be emotional, it could be physical, it could be hundreds of reasons. But understand one very important concept. Why sale happens is a concept which we call as VFM. VFM means value for money. Now I'll give you another example. Suppose, and this is an example which ladies would love because they have been doing this. They are fantastic bargainers. Trust me, ladies are very good bargainers, and I respect them for that. Suppose you go to Commercial Street or Bombay में Linking Street, or the area where you can go and bargain. Okay, आपको एक handbag बहुत अच्छा लगा. आपने you have liked the particular handbag, you like the color, the texture, you are holding it, and आपने उसको देख रहा है and you like it. Then you ask that guy, how much is this cost? भैया कितना में दिया? And that guy makes a statement, 2000 रुपया. Now understand, in your mind, understand this process. In your mind, हर एक का mind में एक value आएगा. This is worth this much. Okay. Some people it will be 600 rupees. Some people it will be 1000 rupees, 800 rupees, 500 rupees. Some value will come into your mind. Say let us say 1000 rupees. Easy of understanding. So 2000 उसने बोला, आपका दिमाग में आपको लगता है ये 1000 rupees के लिए worth है. Simple. Now tell me, you will always ask for a little less price. Suppose you say 800 में देता है क्या? Now you are okay. If you get it from 800 to 1000, you will buy it because you are getting value for money. आपको लगता है इसका value 1000 है और इसका value उसको आप 800 में पूछा. Now that guy makes a statement. छोड़ो मैम परवड़ता नहीं है, and takes the bag from your hand and puts it on the pile. Puts it back on the pile. Okay? What do? You turn back. Walking one step, two steps further, hoping that person will call you back. Correct? You walk one step, and that person also is keeping quiet. One step, two step, three step up chalte ho, hoping that guy will call you back. He does not call you back. My question to everybody in this audience is, आपका mind में value 1000 रुपया से थोड़ा ज्यादा बड़ा कि नहीं बड़ा? Let it say 1050 rupees, 50 रुपया, 10 रुपया, बड़ा कि नहीं बड़ा? Give me an yes if
yes.
values increased. Okay, I've got some answers. Yes, in YouTube. Let me check out in YouTube. Ashok Kumar, I'll answer your question. Hold on, Ashok Kumar, hold on. I'll just hold on your answer. I will share it. I just read your question. Now the value increased to 1050. The reason it increased is because that person kept quiet. Please understand the golden thumb rule. A golden thumb rule in value creation is, after creating value, ज्यादा बात करोगे तो value घटता है. After creating a value, if you start talking, the value of the product comes down because that person feels that this guy is pushing this product, शायद कुछ problem है. This is the biggest mistake people do. They don't know you need to create value. How to create value, we will come to it. But after creating value, sometimes zip. It is very important to keep quiet, because this is very important. This is where we say hold and show. When to show, when to hold, we need to learn. So this is something which goes as a biggest. After creating value, वो 2 step चलने दो. वो भी क्या किया? When the customer walked 2 steps, that person was creating value. नहीं छोड़ो यार, लेगा नहीं करके. So then this guy feels, अरे यार शायद चला जाएगा. And then this guy says, okay madam, 900 or 1500 में दे दो. Then please understand one more thumb rule. After giving a price pitch, after giving a negotiation closing pitch, the person who talks first will always lose the battle. ये sales का उसूल है. अगर मैंने 800 बोला, उसने 1000 बोला, उसके बाद जो भी पहला बात करेंगे, that person will always agree, because that person's palada in the negotiation table becomes weaker psychologically. This is a fact of negotiation which I've experienced it, and I'm sharing that. And everybody who has experienced sales would understand this. So sometimes after making the closing call or giving a pricing bid, keep quiet. That's the biggest deal. Don't even say this. No, I'm just to this. So then what happens? This person says 1500 mein deta hai. Look at it. 1000 rupees was the value. So the value increased. So perceived value. So price, understand, is not. Ashok Kumar ka ek answer isme milega. One part of the answer. Price is not the product value. Price is the perceived value of the product in the customer's mind. Perceived value of the product in customer's mind. Yesterday night I was watching property show in NDTV, and I was surprised. It seems last year, because of the mid-market segment, the 5 crores to 50 crores properties have seen an increase in sales. I was surprised. Then I understood that it is increasing selling. The low-end property is not as much improved compared to the mid range, 5 crores to 50 crores. The reason is these people had money and were looking at investing, and they felt that this is the right time to invest because the market value is slowly coming down. So they feel इस time पे invest करेगा तो शायद मेरे को फायदा होगा. So it is not about that. अगर घर के लिए चाहिए ना, तो I would have probably purchased a lesser, cheaper house. But they were looking at from an investment perspective. So it is not about price always. It is not about. It's all about value for money. And we make a statement: if the perceived value of the product is more than the cost of the product or the price tag, then sale will happen. If the perceived value is less than the product price or the price tag, then sale will not happen. Because when the perceived value is more, customer feels I am getting more value for money. So it is all about creating value in the customer's minds that brings about this difference. Perceived value को इतना तक बढ़ा दो ताकि whatever be your price, if that perceived value is more than your price tag, sale will happen. How to increase perceived value, how to increase value is what we are going to do today. That's the key thing, because बाकी सब secondary है, बाकी presentation सब लोग कर लेंगे, जिसको बात नहीं करने का तो वो भी कर लेगा, लेकिन ये perceived value कैसा increase करता है, there are a few techniques how to create value. So anybody has got, again repeating, anybody has got any questions, you can shoot your questions. Is there a question?
Sir, as you said, like the value of that bag in my mind is 1,000 rupees, right? And I am asking that person to give it to me in 800 rupees. You said that when he will take the bag back, the value will increase from 1,000 to 1,050. But
I'm saying some number. 5 rupees to badega.
No, because I've not asked him in 1,000 rupees, right? I've asked him in the 800. So it will be between 800 to 1,000 that I will again.
Okay, fair enough. Then okay, I'll give you hypothetical. Let me take your hypothesis to the next level. Okay, so you said 800 mein deta hai kya? I said nahi. Okay, I said, ma'am, 2,000 rupees, a stay. Okay, and then what happens? You walk one step further. Then you turn back and say 1,000 rupees last offer. Okay, you say 1,000 rupees last offer. That guy still says, sorry Benji, hoga to pakka de dunga. So when this guy gives the dialogue, now after he says 1,000 rupees mein bhi nahi hoga and does not justify any reasons, do you think the value will increase at least 5 rupees, 10 rupees?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe, fair enough. So that's what I said. Why it increased is not because you got extra gyan. You got the value increased because that person kept quiet. But understand the situation. 1,000 rupees mein deta hai kya? And I make a question, ma'am, ये सोलापुर का लेदर है, सॉरी ये कोल्हापुर का लेदर का चप्पल है और व्हाटएवर लेदर है, कोल्हापुर का है, ये है, इसमें ये काम किया है, वो काम किया है. मैं वापस रिपीट करता हूं, मैं जो भी आपको बोला था to create value. Do you think it will increase?
No.
That's what I'm saying. When you keep quiet, the value increases. But when you start justifying, वो बंदा को लगता है हाँ convince करने का चालू कर दिया, मतलब परवड़ेगा उसको. And we say last 1,000, and you stick to it. But when you keep quiet, the value increases. Agreeing?
Yeah.
Sale will happen or not sale will happen, that's a great question. Value increasing के लिए sometimes keeping quiet increases value. Lagan movie में एक जबरदस्त dialogue है. Watch Lagan movie again. In Lagan movie, there is this scene where वो जो bowler है ना, जो ऐसा घुमा के आवाज करके bowling करता है. Okay, that guy goes there. Amir Khan goes to convince him to play cricket. So he first creates value. Gori ma'am हमको English cricket सिखाती है करके. He creates value by saying that now we have got external support. There is a foreign coach, who is teaching us cricket and all. And then he makes a statement. अभी मेरे को तेरा जैसा थोड़ी जमीन है जिसको बेच के मैं 3 गुलाल लगान भर सकता हूँ. And that guy says मैं क्यों जमीन बेचूंगा? तो बोलता लगान कैसा भरेगा? And after creating this value and impact, he walks out. ठीक है, चलता हूँ. He does not say come and play cricket. चलता हूँ करके. So then that guy runs. Watch Lagan again. That guy runs and says मैं कुछ काम आ सकूं आपको. He comes and asks this dialogue. That is what this guy did. He created value and knew when to withdraw. When you withdraw, that is when your prospect will come running towards you and say, can you help me with a solution? But look at the difference. Can you help me? First क्या था? ये कुछ बेचने को आया. Now it becomes, can you help me with a solution? You have to get your customer or your prospect from a thought process thinking that ये कुछ बेचने आया से लेके इससे मेरे को फायदा हो सकता है. He can help me out. She can help me out. The moment you bring this shift, then your customers are your this thing. So again, आपका नियत में खोट नहीं होना चाहिए. You should, long-term business is what you need to focus on. That's the basic. Okay, because you can't cheat the customer all the time. So never focus on cheat. Sales is all about like a doctor who takes care of the patient in the interest of the patient. That's what we are bringing to the table. There might be a few people who will use this faida and cheat, but let's not talk about that. Let's talk about sales as a process, as a consultant, sales consultant. So understand this. Now the other example, same thought process. सपोज यू फील इट इज वर्थ 1000 रुपीज आपका दिमाग में, एंड मजाक के लिए आपने पूछा 500 में देता है क्या, 2000 का प्रोडक्ट बोला उसने, एंड यू से 500 में देता है क्या, यू फेल्ट इट इज वर्थ 1000 में मिलेगा तो भी फायदा, 500 में देता है क्या, एंड द कस्टमर इमीडिएट द सेल्स पर्सन, ठीक है दे दो, जल्दी दे दो, now suddenly will you give him 500 rupees or you will start inspecting the bag again?
Inspect it again.
Inspect it again because suddenly doubt लगता है, अरे इतना जल्दी मान गया, मतलब bag is not even worth, and suddenly the value of the bag from 1000 rupees falls down to 500 rupees. It's psychologically a drop. अरे the value which was created because of his pitching now got reduced because he ready, इतना जल्दी कैसा agreed किया? You might say भैया cash घर पे छोड़ दिया, लेके आता हूँ बोल के भागोगे वहां से. You will not even buy it for 500 even though you felt that the value, because the perceived value dropped. So perceived value can be changed. That is something which I am bringing to the table. So now let us talk about how to create value. The core creation of, yeah, question.
So for example, I am selling, okay, something at a very high price. I know that I'm selling it at a high price, okay, and maybe I'm selling it in 800. I know if 700 bhi mila to bhi chalega, right? But then if in case I'm saying 800 to a customer and the customer immediately agrees, then is it that the value of my product increases to sell it at 800 every time?
Okay, price tag increased, the price range increased, the sale price increased, okay, but with the value of the product increase, it value depends from person to person. Like the pen का example, एक आदमी 1000 रुपए देके पेन खरीदेगा, दूसरा आदमी बोले 5 रुपए में देगा तो नहीं लूंगा, मैं तो पढ़ना लिखना आता नहीं है, मैं क्या करूंगा? इंक पेन रहेगा तो भी अंगूठा में ऐसा इंक मार के सील लगाने के लिए काम आ सकता है, बॉल पॉइंट पेन करके मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकता हूँ. So value depends upon person to person, perceived value depends upon person to person. Perceived value also depends upon affordability. For example, if I come and ask you, you want to buy a Mercedes Benz, I mean with due respect, come and somebody comes and asks me, do you want to buy a Mercedes Benz? 10 लाख का डिस्काउंट मिल रहा है, 3 करोड़ का गाड़ी में 10 लाख का डिस्काउंट बढ़ रहा है, मैं खरीदूंगा नहीं यार, मैं नहीं खरीदूंगा, because probably my affordability to buy a Mercedes Benz is not there. So I might still say no, I can't, I don't want that. Okay, I will not buy. So it could be because of affordability also. But if I'm getting, though I can't afford a 1 crore car, understand this, though I can't afford a 1 crore car, but if I'm getting a distress sale of a Mercedes Benz with 1 crore, then suddenly somebody says 3 crore का गाड़ी 1 करोड़ में मिलता है, 2 दिन में पैसा अरेंज करना है, चाहिए तो बोलो. Now suddenly I might look at it because from a selling cross selling purpose, if I can afford 1 crore as a loan and buy the car and sell it in a month's time at 1.5 crores, also I make 50 lakhs in 1 month, in 1 day or 1 week or 2 weeks or even 1 month. So I would still look at it. So affordability also is relative to the value that I'm seeing in the product. So for personal use, no, but from a resale value, probably yes, depends upon the discount that is being offered. So it is relative. Value is always relative to the person and the situation in which the sale is happening. Answered?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me continue further. Let me go to slide share once again. Okay. Let me go to slide share. Okay. 1 second. So creating value. Now this is not only with respect to sales. This is respect to creating value is there with respect to day-to-day life also. आपका बहुत बार people come and say my idea my boss did not take. It is probably because of these four factors where we did not do enough work so that our value did not get increased. The first factor is expertise. When I use the word expertise, it's actually a combination between two things. Expertise is experience and knowledge. ये दोनों मिलके आता है. Okay, so one is experience के लिए time लगता है और your exposure also increases your experience. Okay, so experience is the key, which not much of control is there in our hand, but we have a big control with respect to knowledge. तो knowledge को gain करो. तो sales people should always read a lot. ये बहुत irrespective of your product. Competition के बारे में पढ़ना है, आपका product का technology के बारे में पढ़ना है, आपका product का लोगों के बारे में पढ़ना है. Suppose if you're in a technology product, you need to understand what is the reason why this product came, how did this product came, whose problem is this solving, what is the patents that you have. बहुत बार you educate the customer that ये product patented है, तो वो 4 जगह पे जाके कितना लोग ने जाके देखा. there is this movie that comes, ये shoot that 3 Idiots का movie में Italian leather है, तो कितने लोगों को पता नहीं था कि Italian leather is costlier. I don't know whether he said Italian leather, but something called as Italian marble. घर पे Italian marble लगाया है, you know, that guy will, you know, and let me give you a small this thing. Italian marble lay karne ka cost is much higher than sometimes an 80 even 90 engineer getting. An Italian marble jo lay karta hai mason, because the marble is so costly, he charges around 4,000 to 5,000 rupees per hour for laying an Italian marble in a, you know, in a exclusive house or a home. Okay, the cost of that person is much higher per hour basis pay. Okay, so there is expertise which creates value. You don't give an Italian marble to a घर का सस्ता मिला करके 100 रुपया पर घंटे का एक मेसन को लगाओ भैया, नहीं लगाता. It's costlier because one scratch the cost of the marble is gone. So understand this. So then there is one more value is gets created with respect to position and networking. I have coupled both, but both are different. Position matlab, suppose I am related to the CM of a state. Okay, example. Okay, hypothetical. I am not. Okay, suppose I am related, or I know the CM knows me. I know the CM knows me. Now, when I go and talk to a customer, kahin na kahin to value automatically gets created. So sometimes the position that you are there also creates value. So this is all, but this is something which you have to rise up the ladder. Suppose a principal of a college, a director of a college going and talking in, giving a presentation to another college, or you know, talking to a feeder college kind of, or a feeder school or a feeder college kind of a thing. Because of the position, there is value that gets created in people's minds. Suppose Narayan Murthy comes and says something to you, it will be taken in the right spirits. Why? Because he has seen in the position hai, and when he says something, even to a student who is making a lot of musty in the classroom, there is a value add that comes when Narayan Murthy says the same thing and the faculty says the same thing. I mean, with due respect to all faculties, but when two people say the same thing, because of the position, the value also gets created in people's minds. So ye bhi ek hai. A person who has done something in the past, has been successful in something, when this person gives the same example that you gave, the value is different. Agreeing with me? If yes, you can type an yes, and I'm sure the answer is yes. Okay, because a lot of times people say मैं भी वही बोला, लेकिन उसने भी वही बोला, उनका बात सुना, मेरा बात नहीं सुना. There's nothing wrong with you, but sometimes that is where sharing is better than an example. Okay, so that is one. Networking. The more you are networked, you know a lot of people, and you throw references of people who have already purchased that product or service, कहीं ना कहीं तो value बढ़ता है. For example, in India का शादी का scenario ले लो यार. Why do Indian people spend so much money on weddings? Because in India, wedding they say is between two families. It's also a status symbol, na. मेरा बेटी का शादी में ये इतना सामान दिया, इतना sweets डाला, and all this thing is all about you know. I don't want to use the word showing off, but that's how the culture is. Let us respect the culture. So predominantly people want to showcase to others. So if I come to and tell you that suppose let me give a personal example. Faculties of colleges, please don't hold this against me. But when I go to a particular area, suppose if I go to, let me take an area which I have not yet explored. Say if I go to Chandigarh, okay, and there are two universities in Chandigarh, and I go to Chandigarh, I always, and if I get one as my customer, when I go to the next university, I say already that university is using my products, my services. So now that by default creates value. Like today, when I go to Coimbatore, I always say 6 colleges in Coimbatore are already using my services. They are already purchasing my service games, and they are already using my services. So by default, the other person says I should not be left out. मेरे को भी फायदा होना चाहिए. Other colleges को फायदा हो रहा है, मुझे भी फायदा होना चाहिए. So sometimes networking के साथ, the throwing of the examples, throwing of connects can actually give you a little bit of leeway. Value gets created. So first is expertise, which is in our hands. Position and networking, we need to work on this and build up our networking skills. Second, third thing is not in our hands. ये अपने हाथ पे नहीं है. Desperate need of the other party. Okay, but you should keep all your senses open to sense whether that person is desperate or not. उसका प्रॉब्लम क्या है. बहुत बार प्राइस के वास्ते डेट्स प्रोडक्ट्स डिलीवर का डील नहीं होता है. इट इज बिकॉज द डिलीवरी डेट बिकॉज ऑफ विच पीपल बाय एन ऑर्डर, बिकॉज उसका बॉस ने उसको गाली दिया है, अगर 1 साल में ये सिस्टम इंस्टॉल नहीं हुआ तो यू विल बी रिमूव्ड फ्रॉम द फ्रॉम द ऑफिस, उसका जॉब चला जाएगा. Now he is not going to buy a product because his company needs the product. He is going to buy the product or buy the solution for his problem because his job is at stake. And if there is a deadline, so क्या होता है, the deadline के वास्ते धंधा हो सकता है. So he is desperate. So you have to sense this. And how do you sense this? When we ask questions, and that is something which you will be doing. The last point, I spend a lot of time again. When to hold, when to show. The when to show part, you know, there's a game called hold and show in card, but we are not very similar to that. पत्ते को जब खोलना है to create value. Okay, you create value by showing lot of things about your product. Okay, but you have to be honest and true to yourself. So you create value by telling things from a benefit perspective. This is one more mistake which people do. They tell about the features of the product. हमारा प्रोडक्ट या सर्विस में ये है, ये है, ये है, ये है, ये है, आपको क्या चाहिए? Now the customer is very confused. Now I'll give you example from a real time sale, and because I have a few friends from network marketing, I'll give you a very generic network marketing pitch. I'm not advocating any company as such. Okay, but I'll tell you समझने के लिए. First, let us understand a product deal. Suppose I want to buy a cycle. Okay, मैं साइकिल बेच रहा हूँ. I'm giving a very generic example. एक बंदा आया साइकिल खरीदने के लिए, मेरे को साइकिल चाहिए. Now after the, I'm giving you how to create value. Fantastic, sir. So let us understand when to hold, when to show. Okay, I'm going to give you. Now if I, बच्चा भी साथ में आया है, बच्चे को फर्स्ट एक पोलाइटली क्वेश्चन पूछा, बच्चा आपका एज कितना है? And the guy says I am 8 years old. I'm studying in 8 years old will study in which third standard? Yeah, third standard. Okay, and बच्चे का हाइट थोड़ा कम है, तो इमीडिएटली मुझे समझना है दिस गाय probably wants to increase the height of the बच्चा. So look at my position, सर. पिछला हफ्ते लास्ट ईयर बड़ा भाई के लिए लेके गया था साइकिल सर, बट ये एडजस्टेबल हाइट है हमारा साइकिल का, तो ये हाइट बढ़ के बच्चा इतना बढ़ गया ना, अभी वो नया बड़ा साइकिल लेके गया और अपना साइकिल भाई को दिया. Look at it, I am giving them a benefit. Don't sell features. हमारा साइकिल को ना बड़ा कर सकता है, 6 लेवल्स तक कर सकता है, 8 इंचेस बढ़ा सकता है. This is all ज्ञान, उसका फायदा नहीं है. Talk to him on that guy's फायदा, talk to him on that guy's benefits, not on what the features are. आपके पास जबरदस्त फीचर्स रहेगा कि ये बढ़ा सकता है, ये नहीं बढ़ा सकता है, इसमें हैंडल लगा सकता है, मिल्क लेने के लिए गया तो उधर हैंडल बार है, वो हैंडल बार नहीं है, आपको बच्चे लोग को काम भी दिला सकता है. पास का जगह में जो दूध वगैरह लेके आने के लिए भेजना है, तो बच्चे को भेजो, करियर में डाल के लेके आएगा. So look at it, benefit. Don't say it has got career, इसमें 5 किलो का वेट उठा सकता है. यार ये सब टेक्निक्स है, ये सब बेनिफिट, फायदा नहीं है, ये सब फीचर्स है. Always a sales person to give फायदा to the end user. Talk about benefits. इससे आपका क्या फायदा हो सकता है, आपका क्या फायदा हो सकता है, and then that benefits should be backed by the features. कि ये क्यों ये बोलता हूँ, इससे फायदा क्या होगा, बिकॉज उसमें ये फीचर है, इस फीचर के वास्ते ही ये फायदा हो सकता है. लेकिन बहुत बार people sell on specifications. Now I know a friend of mine who is a very good friend of mine, cell phone का दुकान में, they talk about megapixel in cameras, and let me tell you one thing, 4800 megapixel या 5000 megapixel में ज्यादा फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. Okay, ज्यादा फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, but if you say this photograph में ये filters है जिसके कारण आपका फोटोग्राफ नॉर्मल 1000 का एमबी का भी पिक्सल में भी कर देगा तो खिल के उभर के आएगा, एंड आपको लाइक्स ही लाइक्स मिल जाएगा इंस्टाग्राम में या फेसबुक में. डोंट यू थिंक दैट इज व्हाट द पर्सन वांट्स, नॉट द पिक्सेल्स एंड द मेगापिक्सेल्स, बट यू गो टू एनी सेल फोन दे विल प्रोडोमिनेट टॉक अबाउट 5400 मेगापिक्सल, 4800 मेगापिक्सल. मेरे को समझ में नहीं आता यार इस दोनों 1000 पिक्सल में या 200 पिक्सल में फर्क क्या है. सो डोंट टॉक अबाउट फीचर्स. सो दैट हाउ डू यू क्रिएट वैल्यू, बाय शोइंग व्हाट बेनिफिट्स, फायदा दिखाओ. And that फायदा गेज करने के लिए आपका एक्सपर्टाइज कम्स इनटू प्ले टू अंडरस्टैंड साइकिल किस कारण से साइकिल लिया है. What are the different things people buy a cycle for? There's a cycle that is now coming from a company in Pune. It's an automatic, semi-automatic, 3 modes: fully automatic, semi-automatic, and manual mode. So they are positioning it like a health device. बोलता है ऑफिस को जाते वक्त फुल्ली ऑटोमेटिक मोड में जाइएगा सर, एंड आते वक्त आप कम इन मैनुअल मोड. तो एक्सरसाइज का जिम भी हो जाता है. And they come now, what the cycle is costing around 56,000 rupees. It is high price for an electronic or semi, it's high price. But what are I comparing it? मैं compare किसके साथ कर रहा हूँ, साइकिल के साथ नहीं compare कर रहा हूँ. This company is comparing it with their annual gym fees or your exercise, your health. So by default it works better. So value बढ़ जाता है. क्यों? क्योंकि you are not selling the फायदा, automatic, semi automatic, नहीं, that is features. Sir, while going you should look fresh, so you can go in automatic mode sir without any strain. It's like a 2-wheeler, like a bike. When you're coming back you can always drive. और अगर स्लोप में थोड़ा मुश्किल पड़ता है, सेमी ऑटोमेटिक में डाल दीजिएगा सर, स्लोप में आप यूज कर सकते हो, and then you can again reduce it when you want to. And the battery life will take you 2 days. चार्जिंग नहीं किया तो चलेगा. They will not say इतना लिथियम आयन बैटरी, इतना कैपेसिटी का है, 2 दिन तक चार्ज नहीं करा तो टेंशन नहीं है सर. सपोज बारिश में फंस गए तो भी आप जा सकते हो, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. And all these kind of things. So sell benefits, don't sell features. So value is created by showing. When I say showing, telling about benefits, not features. And after creating value, remember, hold. जरूरत नहीं है ज्यादा बात करने का. Sometimes the best value gets created when the person, after creating the initial value, keeps quiet. डोंट बी, बहुत बार जोश टेक्स ओवर, इसको और भी ज्ञान दो, और भी ज्ञान दो, और भी ज्ञान दो, प्रॉब्लम. लेट मी गिव अनदर एग्जांपल. सेल फोन, व्हेन यू कॉल अप टू फिक्स अप अपॉइंटमेंट्स, सपोज आप एक प्रोस्पेक्टिव क्लाइंट को अपॉइंटमेंट के लिए फिक्स करते हो, बहुत बार आई हैव सीन पीपल टेलिंग द एंटायर सेल्स पिच इन द फोन इटसेल्फ. सबसे बड़ा मिस्टेक है. फोन का मकसद क्या था? अपॉइंटमेंट फिक्स करने का, उतना ही करने का. सर आई एम कॉलिंग फ्रॉम सो एंड सो कंपनी, दिस इज बिकॉज आपका ये फायदा हो सकता है सर, मुझे आपसे मिलना है, कल मिल सकता हूं या परसों मिल सकता हूं. गिव दैट ऑप्शन. ही माइट आस्क यू क्या है सर, उसी के बारे में बताना है ना सर, आपको बताएंगे तो आपको डिटेल में मिलेगा. बेसिकली आपका ये रिपीट करो, बेसिकली ये करने से आपका ये फायदा होगा. नहीं नहीं बताओ तो सही सर. नहीं होगा सर, आपको मिल के बता सकता हूँ सर, लेकिन मिलेगा नहीं तो सर कैसे मैं बता सकता हूँ? फोन में थोड़ी शोले का पिक्चर का डायलॉग थोड़ी मैं आधा घंटा में बता सकता हूँ या 10 मिनट में बता सकता हूँ. मेरे को और भी लोगों से अपॉइंटमेंट्स है, तो मैं आपका अपॉइंटमेंट ब्लॉक करना है सर, तो आप बोल दीजिए करना है नहीं करना है. My objective in the phone call is to fix an appointment, not to sell the product. Selling part will come in the sales pitch. बहुत बार people give unwanted, so sometimes zip करना जरूरी है. When you zip, you get the value, and that guy says, okay, ठीक है, कल मिलता हूँ सर, पक्का 2 बजे को आना सर, because मेरे को 2:30 को एक और अपॉइंटमेंट है. Look at the value getting created by putting this dialogue. बहुत बार सर 2 बजे तक सर पक्का आ जाओगे, we don't even read of the timings, and Indian people never come on time. सर 2:30 को मैं निकल जाऊंगा सर, 2 o'clock को आपको आना है सर, because 2:30 मेरा एक और अपॉइंटमेंट है. Say this, creates value. Look at the power of the dialogue here. Sir 2:30 को मेरा एक और अपॉइंटमेंट है. Don't you think, when how many times as sales people we have said this to our customer? We have not, and then we say customer मेरे को वैल्यू नहीं देता है, हमारे वास्ते वैल्यू नहीं देता है. You have to make these statements and back it up. Understand this. So if anybody has got any questions, you can still throw in the questions. Let me come back to slide screen. Neeta
Yeah,
ji,
hi Ramani.
yeah, is there
Vanita
a question?
here.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, hi. Actually, I just wanted to know about the other kind of networking which happens, right? Like Amway or Tupperware.
Okay.
So those things, how do you? I mean, it's like a boring conversation, and people would not be interested to buy also.
Ma'am,
How do you create?
okay, to be very honest, I have made decent money, if not good money, from network marketing industry. Okay, so I would not
No,
talk.
just a difference because
Okay.
you were talking about the mobile and bicycle, all those
Okay,
things.
yeah, okay. From a network marketing perspective, okay. Network marketing perspective, you should understand that there are 3 options from a value creation perspective. बहुत बार I have seen, again उसको mistake बताता हूँ. Network marketing में people who don't succeed, I'm keeping it very generic. I won't spend much time on this, but let me keep it very generic. Network marketing में predominantly people always pitch about aspiration. They feel everybody in life wants aspiration. You know, बहुत बार the first network marketing pitch में सीधा लेके जाके बोलता है इसने 1 करोड़ कमाया, इसने 2 करोड़ कमाया, इसने 4 करोड़ कमाया, इसने 5 करोड़ कमाया. This kind of puts people off. हाँ, then mind में एक क्वेश्चन आता है, show me the person जो पैसा नहीं कमाया. Because any business में, understand this fact, any business में there is always a pyramid. Only 5% of the people make the big money, 20%, 15, remaining 15% make the 80-20 principle. Only 5 out of 100 make very big money. Only 15, another 15 make good money, and 80 people don't make money. ये fact है. It's a pyramid structure. Even companies ले लो. If there is a company which is manufacturing the books, notebooks, only 5% of the companies will make very big money, 15% money will make profits, 80 companies will close down in the 5 years. ये fact of life है. Any business it has to work. You take your students. If you have got 1,000 students passing out in a year, 50 students or 5% students, 50 students will be very good, successful in life. 150 people will be doing very good in life, and the remaining 800 probably will be below this. So it's basically a pyramid structure. ये fact of life है. But this is because हमको क्या ट्रेनिंग में यही दिया गया है, इसको देखो बेचो, इसको देख के बेचो, ये गलत है. I am saying shift. Start finding out what is the problem, what is the diagnosis of the patient. जो बंदा आपके सामने आया है prospect के through, find out what is that person's need. Sometimes that person, उसका need उतना है कि I am looking, मेरा job चला गया, I need a backup plan. This can work as a backup plan. So don't show him big picture, show him the small picture. Show him that इससे आपका problem जो job में है ना, आपको इससे मिल जाएगा. And pitch the products and focus on the business plan. There might be a genuine business product need for a person. There are some health products which come into this thing. Okay, so in the health product, man, that guy is not looking out for business. उसके सामने business दिखेगा तो वो लेगा भी नहीं आपका product. शायद these people are focusing too much on business. यानी कि product में दम नहीं है. This thought process can come. So shift your focus. This guy wants product, sell him the benefit of the product. Ashte, that's it. This is where the homework comes in. There is a person who is aspirational, उसको बड़ा बड़ा पिक्चर दिखता है, लाइफ में कुछ करना चाहता है, show him that. There is a person who has been shown homework करने के बाद मालूम पड़ता है there are some people nobody respects him. उसका वैल्यू क्या है क्योंकि लोग पता तो नहीं. There are two things. You can bring in an aspiration point of him, but you know what? A person who people don't respect, if he comes into your team, he will not be able to make sale in network marketing, because network marketing में मैं जाके किसी से बात करता हूँ, मेरे को अगर वो वैल्यू नहीं देते तो मेरे को चिपकाने का जैसा लगता है, they feel ये बंदा चिपक रहा है मेरे साथ, and that is a big problem. So you have to be very cautious in positioning what can be a benefit. So what you can't have a standard sales pitch for every particular customer, and every standard, when बहुत बार क्या होता है, सेल्स पीपल का एक ही स्टैंडर्ड पिच होता है, वो बाय हार्ट करके रखते हैं, ये बात करना है, डाट 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 डाट, ये प्रॉब्लम है. It is like throwing 100 stones and hoping which stone will hit somebody. I am saying aim, attack, practice and then throw. Your hit rate will increase. 10 आम में 3 आम गिरेगा. Okay, but अगर आप 100 फेंकोगे झाड़ के ऊपर hoping that at least one stone will hit, it will not hit. This is where the basic difference is. Value creation, whether it's a cycle example or it's a network marketing example or it's a B2B sales, so we need to do that basic homework to understand the customer's mindset. That is where, and I'm not yet bringing about price. Negotiations hoga, that I'm going to talk in towards the end. Negotiations hoga, the customer will bargain, the customer will ask for his pound of flesh. That is okay, but don't start pricing before you create value. Don't create value based on, that's a marketing guy's job. Marketing people can sometimes talk about Patanjali focuses on creating value by saying that ours is the cheapest compared to the market. That's their marketing job, not a salesman's job. Salespeople, that is where the value creation comes in. Value can be created because of pricing being different, but then there's not much of negotiation happening in the pricing part. So, but when I'm a salesperson, there can be a little bit flexibility from a pricing perspective. It's all about value creation, because वो perceived value को अगर ऊपर बढ़ा दोगे, तो then that person will agree to see the big picture. So उसका perceived value बढ़ जाता है, तो आपका price उसके नीचे है, sale will happen. Agree? Did I answer that question? I know I answered
Yes.
very broadly because I didn't want to get too
Yes,
deep.
yes. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, thanks so much. So let us continue further. Any questions on YouTube? Somebody can have a look at it, please. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
So next is
Questions actually. Dinesh Kupar is saying that he has seen you in orientation in his college, MSRIT, Bangalore.
okay. But what's the question?
No questions, sir.
Okay, no question. Okay, fine. Okay, let's get started. Kidhar gaya. Okay, let me come back to this slide. Where was this slide? Yeah. So next slide which I want to talk is sales pitch. This I won't spend much time except for a few things. This has got 3 steps. You're approaching a customer, presenting the actual presentation part, and the follow through. Basically, 3 steps I will talk, and the objection handling. So the first thing is presentations के लिए बहुत बार people feel PowerPoint है ना तो जबरदस्त presentation होता है. All the same. More about understanding the customer's mindset. Coming on time is the best, probably the best way to influence a customer. Don't come too early. Next mistake. If you come too early, उसको लगता है इसके पास बहुत ही time है. Don't make the prospect wait. दोनों equally important. Just in time अगर आप manage कर सकते हो, 10 o'clock meeting के लिए 5 minutes early, fantastic. But don't come at 8:30 and wait for your customer. Network marketing में सबसे बड़ा mistake ये भी होता है. वो बंदा आधा घंटा का पहला बैठा है. आप किधर हो? मैं पहुंच गया. अरे यार dangerous यार. You are showing to the other person that you are desperate for that person. Value addition नहीं होता. That's sometimes like hold and show का फंडा है. Hold. Come 5 minutes earlier. Don't come much. Follow timelines. So you don't need to have a PowerPoint to actually create an impact. If you are basically expertise on the product or the services is very strong, then you can take it to the next level. Okay. Eliminate possible distractions. First and foremost dialogue in a sales pitch would be tell the customer, keep your cell phones in silent mode till the presentation gets over, and you do it yourself. Dono important. You should not take a call, but eliminate possible distractions, especially while giving a sales pitch. Because the last thing that you want is giving a pitch, a total break हो जाता है. Rapport generate करने के बाद में आप जब चालू किया, तो rapport generation, everything goes for a toss. Okay, and then distraction हो जाता है. So cell phones are the biggest distractors. Okay, so sometimes if you have created enough value, you can say, can we use your conference room to show a presentation? क्योंकि conference room में जाएगा तो कोई disturb नहीं करता है, but cabin में रहेगा तो somebody might call up, the secretary might call up and say somebody wants to talk to you. So you can do that. And how do you do that? Use a nice thing. Sir, I would like to use a board. Can we go to your conference room so I can actually use the board also and show you something? Use it for B2B sales. I used to use this in my sales career. It works. Second, one of the biggest thing is rapport generation. बहुत important. I don't have much time to explain closed-ended and open-ended questions, but I'll give you what is open-ended questions, what is closed-ended questions. Open-ended questions are descriptive answers, milne jaye questions. Okay, where you say what any questions where the answer is descriptive in nature. Closed-ended questions are this or this, multiple choice, either this or this or this, A, B, C or D. Those are. When to ask which? I'll give you the standard formula. Normally I do an activity, but I don't have time for that. Open-ended questions are asked when you want information. For example, if you ask closed-ended question, you will never get information. Suppose if I ask somebody, you like Salman Khan or Shah Rukh Khan? Imagine he does not like both of them, but still he will give me an answer, Shah Rukh Khan or Salman Khan, depending upon which comparatively which actor he likes. But I don't get information whether this guy really likes Shah Rukh Khan. But if I ask who are your favorite actors, what kind of actors do you like? It's an open-ended question, right? So I can get a descriptive answer. Okay, what kind of actors do you like? So whenever you want information, always ask open-ended questions. Whenever you want to get the customer come with you, you will ask closed-ended question. Open, closed, उसी में information है. Opening questions, opening of the conversation, always open-ended question. Towards the end of the question, closed-ended questions. The closing question, when we talk about negotiations, we will talk about, but I'll just give you example of closing-ended question. When you etc., right? When you go to buy a cell phone, etc., standard में एक आपने एक dialogue मारा रहेगा. Would you like to pay by cash? You're paying by cash or card? Close-ended question. Look at the choice of the question: cash or card, cash or GPay. You know क्या होता है? The guy will pick one. Either way, sale हो गया ना. He does not ask. So you have decided to buy. ये dangerous question है. Yes or no के लिए भी. Close-ended questions are used when you want the customer to come with you. When I call up and fix appointments with people, I always give them a close-ended question after creating value. Sir, I'm actually coming to Hubli. Can we meet tomorrow or day after tomorrow? Worst case, he will say day after tomorrow. But if I ask him, sir, I would like to meet you, sir, can we meet? He will say, call me next week. Problem. So understand the power of closed-ended questions. Both are important. Open-ended question is when you want information. जब आपको information चाहिए ना, तो rapport generate करने के बाद में, we'll talk about rapport generation in a minute. First, generate rapport, then start asking open-ended question, and then come towards closed-ended question. So rapport generation के लिए, you can use any technique. One of the best techniques, simple technique, is compliment genuinely the person. Both are equally important. Compliment भी रहना चाहिए, genuine भी रहना चाहिए, दिल से आना चाहिए. So find out one thing in that person which you can compliment on, and दिल से आना चाहिए. It has to be a fact. Suppose उसका ऑफिस जबरदस्त है, कैंपस अच्छा है, उसका टेबल नीट है, you know, all those things you start observing and compliment. Sir, ऐसा clean table मैंने देखा नहीं sir. You must be a very meticulous planner. बंदा खुश हो जाएगा यार. This rapport generates faster. Okay, so that is one thing. So use any technique that you use to create rapport. Sometimes if the rapport is not generated, or you are not able to rapport generation, sorry, after rapport generation we start with value creation. Never ask leading questions. डॉक्टर कभी भी आपको लीडिंग क्वेश्चंस नहीं पूछता है. जब सिम्टम्स पूछता है ना, he does not ask you कल से हुआ या परसों से हुआ, because when you get leading questions the information gets diluted. So always ask open-ended questions. One of the best ways to create rapport today is vaccination. Talk about vaccination, talk about all the situation that is happening. Rapport generations happen. Okay, now understand. Then comes, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, जेम्स बॉन्ड मूवी का एग्जांपल देता हूं. A James Bond movie, if you have not seen the introduction part of James Bond, I would always say don't watch that movie that day, watch the movie next day. आपके पास we say 90 seconds मिलता है to impress somebody. That's it. First 90 seconds में आपने impress नहीं किया, बहुत मुश्किल पड़ता है to create an impact. And it's a combination of your it could be a total combination. It's not only your dressing sense. Dressing sense is a very minute part of it, but it's a complement, it's a combination of the value that you're creating from your expertise. आपको 90 seconds मिलता है, so जो पहला 90 seconds में आप बात करोगे, that is what is the differentiator. That differentiator has to be very strong, and that comes over a period of time. But start focusing consciously to pick up that first 90 seconds to impress people. Okay, 90 second का frame होता है. After that it becomes very tough. So your first, that's why in English we say first impression matters. Okay, that's something. Now sometimes after rapport generation, state the purpose. One of the easiest way to impress somebody in 90 seconds is state the purpose of your call. Sir, मैं आपसे आज मिलने के लिए आया हूं. This is what we will be talking today. ये एक simple technique है जिससे सामने वाले बंदे को impression बढ़ जाता है that this guy means business. He values his time, he values my time, so I have to listen to this way. So this is the easiest technique to show that you are serious in that 90 seconds. इसको यूज करो और पेपर पेन लेके बैठो कस्टमर के सामने. When you take a paper and pen with the customer, especially in a sales call, it shows that you are valuing that person by making notes. Whether what you write is secondary, but shows to the person that this guy is valuing my information. So that is something which you do. Okay. And after everything, whenever there is an agreement, when you are once you have found out that this guy can need on the product and need on something is there, get an agreement. Don't assume. So basically, it would be right that I say that आपका बच्चा का height बढ़ाने के लिए one of the reasons आप cycle ले रहे हो, get an acknowledgement. Yes, because कल को जब negotiate होगा ना, then you can say sir वो model में ना सर height increase नहीं हो सकता सर, मान लो आप 2 साल में आपका बच्चा बड़ा हो गया, आपको नया साइकिल लेना पड़ेगा, but इसमें ये फीचर है, हाइट बढ़ जाएगा तो भी यूज कर सकता है, उसके लिए थोड़ा सा एक्स्ट्रा प्रीमियम है सर. लुक एट इट, बिकॉज यू हैव टेकन द एग्रीमेंट दैट यू आर बाइंग दिस, एंड व्हेन यू रीइंफोर्स इट ना, उसको वो फीचर पे नहीं अपना बेटे का हाइट के साथ इक्वेट करता है, तो वो सोचता है मेरा बेटे के हाइट के लिए 2000 रुपए एक्स्ट्रा क्या है, कुछ नहीं है. So this is why you have to take an agreement on every negotiation, every agreement of the need of the product is reinforce करना जरूरी है, उस बंदे को बताना चाहिए. So इसके लिए ले रहे हो ना सर, ओके, तो वो अटैच हो जाता है उसके साथ माइंड में. दिस इज द इमोशनल पार्ट ऑफ इट. So this is what we do in presentation. I leave this again. I'm just focusing on sell benefits, not the features. So I've spoken a lot about the presentation part, the actual picture part. This differs from company to company, product to product, service to service. Okay. Follow through. ये एक और सबसे बड़ा thing which demarcates a fantastic salesperson with an average salesperson. बहुत बार I have noticed sales people are scared to follow. डर लगता है follow up करने को. You know why? उनको लगता है अगर मैं फॉलो अप किया, कस्टमर शायद नो बोल देगा, तो जब तक वो नो नहीं बोलता है, वो यस भी नहीं बोलता है, जब तक वो नो नहीं बोलता है, माइंड में एक तसल्ली रहता है, ये बंदा का ऑर्डर आ सकता है. आई हैव सीन दिस. ओके, आई हैव प्रोबब्ली इवन एक्सपीरियंस दिस इन माय स्टार्टिंग पार्ट ऑफ माय सेल्स करियर. वी डोंट कॉल द कस्टमर एंड वी आस्क हिम लेना है नहीं लेना है, जब तक नहीं लेते कैन आई हैव अ वर्ड काउंट. Anybody going through the same emotions, and that is why they don't follow up a old deal when they feel that shayad nahi aayega. Say yes to me and try the alphabet yes. Can I just have a look at? Be honest. Just a question. People who are in sales, they don't follow up because उनको लगता है अगर मैं follow up किया customer no बोल देगा तो at least अभी it is maybe. If it is maybe is better than yes, better than a no. Can I see the YouTube? Do I get some? Okay. Okay. Fine. Let come. So basically the steps to follow through. So first thing is consistent follow up is required. I use the word follow through because cricket के parlance में अगर आप देखोगे तो follow through is the difference between the two strokes. One goes to a boundary, one goes to a falls near the pad. The difference is bat में लगने के बाद we follow through. That's the move, that's the animation which is all about. So follow up करने के लिए you have to have an organizer, a file. Basically when the customer says call me on day after tomorrow, you should make it a point to call up day after tomorrow. बहुत बार the process of stopping to follow up goes because we did not follow up on the right time, and then mind starts thinking now if I call him he will say why didn't you call me that day. So वो question से भागने के लिए, to run away from that question, we don't call up at all. That's a danger. So always keep an organizer. Keep today's cell phones have got organizers. In the organizer put a timetable, this time को call करना है. By default one pop-up will come, call up this customer, so you can always call up. So please use stickler files. That's one of the things. Keep your promised dates. And always after every telephonic meeting send a mail, document कर दो कि this is what we have discussed, this is what were the challenges, कि आपका problem के लिए ये solution है हमारे पास. Don't use the word problem but say this is a solution based on this is what we are pitching in, this is what the solution is. So this works. Again, there's no shortcut to success. Follow through and follow through. So this is predominantly the last part of phase 1 is objections. And this technique, this is one more technique which I will share with you. If you master this technique, your hit rate will increase in sales. Okay, objections are your best friend. Lot of people get scared when people ask you a question. इसमें है क्या, ये क्यों लेना है, इसमें जरूरी है क्या, इतना कॉस्ट क्यों है. Understand something. The first and foremost thing is when somebody gives you an objection, the customer is telling you this is what you should sell it to me, this is how you sell it to me. If a person is not asking any questions, लिख के लो 99.9% that they will not buy from you because उसका दिमाग में अभी तक purchasing आया ही नहीं है. जब purchasing आता है तभी questions आता है. When purchasing thought process starts getting triggered, that's when he starts asking questions. So treat these questions as your best friend. These are your objections. Second, now here process में थोड़ा सा tweak कर लो. Don't start answering questions one after one. Always ask this question. वो जो क्वेश्चन बोलता है उसको रीस्टेट करो, सर बेसिकली आपका ओके कॉम्प्लीमेंट करो, सर फैंटास्टिक क्वेश्चन सर, इनफैक्ट बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन है सर, आई विल टेक डाउन दिस क्वेश्चन, राइट डाउन द क्वेश्चन, गिव इट इंपॉर्टेंस, राइट डाउन द क्वेश्चन, ओके देन आस्क नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, सर if you get clarity on this question, will you buy it? Put the question back, let him say yes or no. 99.9% आपको एक और क्वेश्चन आएगा, नो नो ये एक और क्वेश्चन है, उस क्वेश्चन को भी लिखो, सर अगेन अ वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन, सर if both these questions are answered, do you think you will buy it? Answered मत बोलना, if you get clarity on both of these questions, will you buy it? That guy will say yes, or max to max he will give you one more question. Same thing करना है, sir if all these three things you get clarity on and your thought process becomes clear, will you buy it? Take an S from him before you start answering the questions. ये बहुत important है. Hey, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I was not showing the slide. The slide is not seen. Right?
No slide.
Sorry, I did the mistake. Okay, that's why I was saying I got to say. Okay. So predominantly, once and most of the times the objections are the same. हर customer objection यही होता है, price ज़्यादा है, ये ज़्यादा है, you know, competition में ये है क्या, आपके पास ये feature है क्या, all these are there and we know the answers. Our expertise in the product and the service knows, we know the answer. So what we do is when we state this, sir ये हो गया तो है, because don't start handling the objection one after one, because when you answer one, you know, he will ask you the second. When you answer the second, he will ask you the third. When you answer the third, he will ask you the fourth. He will always keep on bringing a question, because at the end of the day, nobody wants to give out money. Yeah, in human psychology. So we have to take a commitment, a verbal commitment, that if these are taken care of, I will buy it. Once he says, then you start answering all the objections one after one with the best knowledge that you have. That's how you do it. So that's something which I wanted to share. Okay, from an objection perspective. One more thing in objection handling, please understand, every customer will not buy. ये एक fact है. Every customer will not buy. There are only some customers who will buy. Okay, so focus on them, but doesn't mean ignore the others. But make sure that give your best. But at the end of the day, इसको mind में डालो, it's a number game. If I meet 10 people, 3 will buy, 7 will not buy. That's it. If I want 30 sales, I have to meet 100 people. If I want 300 sales, I want to meet 1,000 people. As simple as that. So start focusing on. But over a period of time, if you follow these steps, 4 out of 10 will be buying from you. Your cycle hit rate will increase. 5 out of 10 will happen. And with a lot of practicing a lot of these stuff, 7 out of 10 can also buy. So this is what we need to build in. Okay, then coming to closing. One more important thing, once the customer asks the initial part, आपका pricing कितना है? Don't give out the price, because giving the price will end the conversation. Once again, I'm making a very important, इसको अच्छी तरह समझ लेना. Starting part, before you have created value, if a customer asks the price, say appointment fix करते वक्त customer is asking the price, what is the price? Okay, then you don't say the price. Sir, we have got a lot of flavors, lot of this thing, depending upon what solution you are looking for, the price will vary. But we would like to come and meet you and explain to you. That's it. Okay, don't give out the price. But after creating value, towards the closing stage में customer ने price पूछा, don't make the customer wait. ये बहुत बड़ा dangerous है. I'll give an example. Dentist का दुकान में, dentist का clinic में, which is more painful, waiting outside or the teeth being pulled out? Obviously waiting outside. बाहर waiter दिमाग में इतना silence में सन्नाटा चलता है, कभी आएगा, बराबर निकालेगा क्या? All these questions starts coming in. So what I wanted to share is, don't make the customer wait. That pain will kill him. The pain of waiting, because mind में चालू हो गया, अब ये price बोलेगा, मेरे को परवड़ेगा क्या? Can I take it? Can I not take it? So all these things start coming in. So that is where you have to be very clear. Towards the closing ended question, you answer, closed-ended questions के हिसाब से, don't ask open-ended questions toward the end. So what have you decided? Most dangerous question to ask after the pitch. Always don't. So how are you going to make the payments? Cash or card? Would you want an EMI or not an EMI? These are some of the things. Okay. Now, this is how you focus on in the closing. I gave an option. Closed-ended questions are what this is. And I always ask, whenever somebody gives you an objection, one of the best questions is that the only thing that is stopping you from buying? So they will give you one more question. Are these the only two things which is stopping you from buying? So you're inducing purchase. Ask. Make the customer verbalize. And most important thing is, ask for the order. Customer will not say come and take the order. ऐसा customer मिल गया तो बहुत मेहरबानी. Okay, ऐसा customer मिल गया तो बहुत मेहरबानी. But most of the times you will not get You will not get an order voluntarily. You have to ask for the order. If you don't ask for the order, customer will not pay. So बहुत बेशर्म होके एंड में पूछना चाहिए आपने अच्छा काम किया है, tell him, so when do we sign the deal, today or tomorrow? Ask. If you don't ask, बहुत बार order नहीं मिलता है. And this is one of the mistakes which sales people do. They don't ask for the order. I've come towards the end. The closing tips, important tips. Listen more than you talk when you are with the customer. Okay, value sometimes gets created when you keep quiet. And after creating value with respect to some the techniques that I shared, keep quiet. Second, never talk over the customer. Always listen to whatever. Interrupt मत करना customer. So 2 मिनट मेरे बात समझो सर. नहीं, dangerous dialogue. आपके पास जबरदस्त content रहेगा. But customer is asking you sometimes you a stupid question. No problem. Give importance to that question. Because you might have clarified him, but he will never buy from you. So it's always better that he buys from you even if you don't clarify for him. So that's the rule. Control the flow. Even though you are quiet, the conversation should get controlled by you. So how do you control it? The first tip that I said, sir, this is what we plan to discuss today, and explain to him. So क्या होता है, control आपके पास होता है. By chance थोड़ा deviate हो रहा है, sir 2 point बाकी है या थोड़ा deviate हो रहा है, you can tell that to the customer. So that's something. And then always ask for the order. Even if you don't do anything, always ask for the order. And last thing is ask for reference. एक कस्टमर से the reverse डमरू जो बोला ना मैंने, one customer is the tipping stone for a host of other orders from your warm contacts. Cold call से अच्छा warm call कर सकते हो. So always ask for reference. बेशर्म होके reference पूछो, because reference can take you to the next level. Okay. And lastly, keeping your, I'll just skip this. This is not something. This is something. Okay, common sales mistakes. There are 3 mistakes which salespeople make. Mistake number 1, not listening to the buyer. Big mistake. A bigger mistake, not asking for the order. And the biggest mistake, forgetting to sell to existing customers. बहुत बार एक customer बन गया, उस customer को भी ignore. But let me tell you one thing, one customer can give you multiple orders. And if you look at it with no marketing, this thing, I have gone into a college. First, I start with one product, then the second product, then the third product, then the fourth product, then the fifth product. Then I have, I have around 10 colleges, which give me, I will not tell you the amount of, but I get big money from 10 colleges. Okay, this 10 colleges are my 20% account, which actually gives me 80% of my business because of, not forgetting to sell to the existing customer. Create value addition and maintain that quality which was promised, maintain the service which was promised, and trust me, the existing customers will always give you more business than new customers. 80-20 ka principle hai. So this is predominantly which I wanted to share. I'm open for any questions, and humorously put thanks for the buy-in. And people who are watching it on YouTube, I would like if you can share and like and share this link. I'm open for questions. Anybody, any questions, feel free to blast. People in YouTube can start typing your questions. Any questions, anybody? No questions is dangerous.
Sir, one question I have, like now you know the situation that it is all corona and everything, and we are not visiting anyone. Whatever sales call or whatever network marketing calls are happening through phone calls, right? Can you hear me? Hello?
I am not able to hear you. Whoever is speaking.
Neeta, yeah.
I'm not able to hear you.
1 minute. I don't know what is wrong.
Okay. Meanwhile, anybody else has got a question?
Can you hear me, sir, now? Hello?
Anybody else, any questions? I can hear you.
Okay, you can hear me? Okay. So my question is like, as you initially said that we, go and meet the person, but now of course, because of the COVID situation, as we are not going out, every call and everything is happening over the calls, right? On the phone. So it definitely makes a lot of difference when you meet the person, face to face, and when you speak to a person over the call. So what are the tips and tricks that we need to follow while on the call, because we won't be able to understand that much, and on call the other person is not that much ready to talk to you.
Deepa, sir, can you hear me? Okay, I got the question.
Yes, sir, I can
Basically,
hear you.
virtual meeting and the real-time meeting में difference क्या है? Yes, you don't get. Yeah. Okay, can you mute yourself? Okay. Okay. Fine. Sripal sir, I'll take your question in 1 second. Let me answer this question. So there is a difference between a physical call, a face-to-face meeting, and a virtual meeting or virtual. But there are 2-3 things which you can do basic, man. First and foremost, always focus on the agenda for the meeting. So it shows professionalism. It shows that this guy means business and means stuff. People like to do business with a strict guy also, as long as they know that ये बंदा अपना जबान का पक्का है. So when you talk to people, make sure that you are clear that this is what we are going to talk on. That can be done even on a telephonic call, even on a face-to-face or a Zoom meeting also. That is one. Second thing, tell the person that what we are talking will be replicated via an email. I will send you the minutes of today's meeting on email and document that meeting and send it. It adds more value to you. आपका by default easy thing है जिससे आपका value बढ़ता है. Okay, ये बंदा mail किया था. And 2 things happen. That guy, you are always there in his mail book. So कभी भी future में जरूरत पड़ा तो he can always reach you. That is the second. Third thing is, every phone call or a physical meeting has to go with a call to action. CTA बोलते हैं. मतलब आपका कॉल जो भी किया आपने या फिजिकल मीटिंग करते हैं, that should actually be convert to an action from the customer's perspective. So basically अगर आपने कस्टमर से कुछ डिटेल मांगा है तो you have to reinforce, sir, so by tomorrow evening you will send me this via mail and I will send you this via email. So basically दोनों का एक action plan has to be decided. These are very generic steps for any sales people. B2B sales, B2C sales, you can take it to the next level by giving a call to action. मैं आपको इसके बारे में डिटेल दूंगा, या one question you knew the answer but you do not know the answer, you can say, sir, on my part I will talk to the technical guy and get you an answer on this question. Okay, which is something that is my part of action, and meanwhile आप मुझे ये चीज डॉक्यूमेंट्स भेजोगे. So give a call to action. क्रेडिट कार्ड वाले कॉल करते हैं, कितना प्यार से बोलता है, so आपको मुझे ये डॉक्यूमेंट भेजना है कल तक के, मैं आपको ये फॉर्म भेजूंगा. So that's a call to action. So a lot of times, if a meeting, face-to-face meeting or a physical call or a phone call has not resulting in a call to action, then it is a problem. So always focus कर दो agenda में से call to action क्या रहेगा. CTA बोलते हैं, short form CTA. So you have to have a call to action with every phone call before you make the phone call with a customer or a prospect. ये बहुत important है. Call to action is the key. Answered? Answered?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else has got any other question?
There's a question on YouTube by Shalini ji. She's asking how to apply these fundamentals in sales through WhatsApp business and targeting multiple people at once.
Okay. I have not got that question. How come I didn't get that question? Okay, I was seeing YouTube. Okay, fine. How to use it in WhatsApp? Okay. Slight difference थोड़ा सा लेके आना पड़ेगा. Shalini ji, फटाफट yes or no answer कीजिएगा. Can I use the name of your business? I think it's good for you to get the name of business. Shalini ji is in the, if I'm not mistaken, it is that flower business that you are wanting to promote, right? Yes, कर से answer मिल सकता तो it will help me because I can go because okay, 2 things now. If you are using WhatsApp as a tool to promote to your customers, do you have a WhatsApp group? If you have, okay, fantastic. So if you have a WhatsApp group, please answer that one question. Do you have a WhatsApp group? If you have a WhatsApp group, now there are 2 things. In WhatsApp में क्या होता है? There is a very small difference between bombarding into people's privacy at the same time subtly indicating this. I'll again give a personal example of mine. My good morning messages are actually a sales follow through tools. मैं सबको गुड मॉर्निंग, मेरा प्रोस्पेक्टिव कस्टमर्स, मेरा जो भी दोस्त लोग हैं, सबको मैं गुड मॉर्निंग भेजता हूँ. Why I said this good morning is because, and I put a satire, okay, it's totally nothing related to sales. But कल को एक कॉलेज में, if there is a requirement for a training program, and early morning when I was thinking about whom to call for the training, and if I get popped up like good morning करके, okay, I get popped up, so then क्या होता है? It creates that remembrance. अरे यार, I can do this. So now coming to your business specific example, one of the 2 techniques which came to my mind, of course you can think about a lot more. So your sales pitch has to be in WhatsApp group, has to be subtle. You should not directly say le lo, nahi. Selling is not selling. So thanks, because of this I could use a title name for today's program. Okay, so what we do is I'll give you 2-3 things. One is you can give every day or every 2-3 days, mein, you can give know about this flower. Okay, and you can talk about some advantages of the flower, what difference it brings to the table, environment may, ambience may, those kind of thing. Or you can talk about the color therapy that the flower brings. You can do some research and give every once in 2-3 days, you can give a nice color. So what you are doing is you are not selling, but you are creating value for your product by saying that ye fayda hai. So kahin na kahin, so that will be one of the benefits why people buy. So that is one aspect which came to my mind right now. The other one is you can also get into people to share their photographs on the group. I do not know if that is being done. The first idea, the more I think about that idea, it seems to be a good idea because there's a value that is getting created because you're sharing gyan and knowledge which can help people related to your business. So it's a latent way of pushing your products in the market. So there's a first thought that came to my mind from a WhatsApp perspective. I hope I did answer that question. Anybody else? Any other questions? Sripaji, I interrupted you when you were about to say something. Any questions?
No, sir. The same question. Digital marketing.
Okay. Using digital marketing, you can use Facebook group, Instagram. Influencers are becoming very strong in the market today. Instagram में influencers है. अगर आपका business में कोई अच्छा strong influencer मिलता है, if he can promote, it's okay to pay that person a little bit paisa also. So Instagram is gaining a lot of popularity. It again depends upon the nature of your business. In fact, big corporates today have shifted from spending big money on TV advertisements. They are actually catching, especially makeup and cosmetics. They are actually catching influencers who have around 5,000, 10,000 subscribers or followers. They give them the product free of cost and give 5,000, 10,000 rupees to put it on the Instagram. That it is actually shifting. Especially the cosmetic industry is actually shifting towards Instagram in a big way because they get a far bigger concentrated reach. Rather than an advertisement on TV. So this is one of the tactics which is used. Leverage social media. I think that's one of the things. You can create a Facebook page, event page, Instagram page, and promote it. I'm not the right person from a full-fledged digital platform perspective because I'm not much into that much social media. But there is time because I don't know. I should not give you wrong again. But there is a lot of potential in network. In the digital world. So there is something I'm predominantly a sales guy. I'm not a marketing guy. I use any technique that I can push my product to customers. So you can use those techniques. Okay. Did I answer that question? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So any more questions? If not, we can wind up. Any questions? YouTube people, any questions?
Sir, one last question.
Thanks so much.
Okay, sir. So as definitely everything is going digital. Okay, now being in network marketing, definitely I am putting up my ads that I have an opportunity wherein you can earn and all, and I get inquiries on my WhatsApp because I share my WhatsApp number. Now, when I talk to these people on call, I take the permission definitely that okay, I will be able to explain you the business on call. So what is the right time that I call you? They give me a time, I call. Now in this case what happens is mostly they directly ask me to start, okay, tell me your plan. But right, as per what our networking is that we should not immediately pitch our plan. So how do we go ahead and take the information from the customer because they are totally unknown and they are not ready to share the information?
Two things. Sometimes hold. If somebody is asking you, tell me your business plan, there are two things. Either that guy is a networker, already a network marketer. In that case, there's no harm in sharing the plan because he's going to evaluate the plan on logic and then he's going to design. But if that guy is not a network marketer, then don't share your plan, create value by holding. So you can say, sir, I have not come here to call this thing. If you're really serious about it, we need to talk in a manner in which we talk. I'll share with you a lot of things, but before that, I need some information about you before I start sharing the plan. If you're not comfortable, no problem, sir. We'll come back to you later. As simple as that. Sometimes you get more value. If it's a network marketer, already in the business and is evaluating your plan with others, then you can share the plan. But otherwise, but still, if you share the plan without creating value, sale nahi hone wala. Likh ke lo, you're wasting your time in hitting that stone. It's as simple as that. So probably I'll take this one-to-one. Probably we can talk because I don't want to make it full-fledged network marketing.
Yeah, that's fine.
We'll talk to it on.
Yeah.
So anybody else, if there is no more question, Wish you all the very best. Stay safe, be safe. The same link which is there in top can be shared with your friends. This video will be available for anybody. I hope I did some justice to this workshop. Thanks so much. Wish you all the very best. God bless you. Stay safe, be safe. Thanks so much. And thanks to
Thank you
the
so much,
people
sir.
in YouTube as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ramin.
Thanks so much, sir.